Them old mistakes are gone. I won't do them no more. There's old news, there's new news. I done did that before. I turn nothing to something. My comeback on 100. Let's talk it, more action. You just go see coming. I just keep elevating. No losses, just upgrading. My lessons made blessings. I turn that into money. They gotta never settle. This view is so much better. I'm chilling, I'm winning, like on another level. Oh, you can talk all you want. See me as the greater, nothing I'm afraid of, and I can have it all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Hey, freeze can drop like wave. Team love don't want no hate. I'm riding, I'm shining, up on my way. They gotta never settle. This view is so much better. I'm chilling, I'm winning, like on another level. Oh, you can talk all you want. See me as the greater, nothing I'm afraid of, and I can have it all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. All this sauce so level, on another level, elevate your level, level, graduate your level. There's no one on it, nah. All this sauce so level, on another level, elevate your level, level, graduate your level. There's no one on it, nah. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Okay, remember what I told you. Be your own boss. Love yourself. Get up and dance. Level up. 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 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up. 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 All this on me so yummy. All this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy. Yummy all in your tummy. Level up. 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 All this on me so yummy. All this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy. Yummy all in your tummy. Them old mistakes are gone. I won't do them no more. There's old news, there's new news. I done did that before. I turn nothing into something. My comeback on 100. Let's talk it, more action. You just go see coming. I just keep elevating. No losses, just upgrading. My lessons made blessings. I turn that into money. They gotta never settle. This view is so much better. I'm chilling, I'm winning, like on another level. Oh, you can talk all you want. See me as the greater, nothing I'm afraid of, and I can have it all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Hey, freeze can drop like wave. Team love don't want no hate. I'm riding, I'm shining, up on my way. They gotta never settle. This view is so much better. I'm chilling, I'm winning, like on another level. Oh, you can talk all you want. Let go. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. All this sauce so level, on another level, elevate your level, level, graduate your level. There's no one on it, nah, nah, nah. Hey, level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tongue.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome, 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 welcome everybody to the Contracts and Business Deals Extravaganza. It is the level up, and we are so glad to have you here today. I am Erin Porche, founder and CEO of Global Works Consulting Group, and this extravaganza is brought to you by our company and a host of other small business owners. Yes, we have an amazing lineup of speakers that are here to unlock and unleash all of their experience to equip and empower you. It is our mission to help people to be free, to know and understand their birthright, to get their inheritance right here on earth, and also leverage access. Leveraging the access. We all believe, all of the speakers that I'm connected to, we all believe that it is high time. It's high time to tap in and to build wealth. And in order to do that, there are just some non negotiables. Some non negotiables that we need to be aware of and be equipped with and apply in our lives. So, with that being said, our theme for this quarter is capabilities, capacity, connection, capital, and contracts. Yes, you got that right. I'm going to say it one more time: capabilities, capacity, connection, capital, and contracts. Our conversation will be centered around all of these core components that we want to basically have a position of non-negotiable understanding and applying to our lives. So I want to kick this thing off, and I'm going to pass the baton to our first speaker. We are so excited to have you all here today, and I want to first thank my amazing team for doing all of the work to put this extravaganza together. There is no way that one person can pull this experience together. So I want to thank my team for all of their hard work. And together, we crush goals. We crush goals here at Global Works Consulting Group. So, salute to my team. Yay! I also want to thank all of the speakers that said yes. Not only saying yes to Global Works, but saying yes to their call and their purpose, right? And being able to show up in the capacity and give knowledge, give information, have that exchange, right? And be a catalyst to help catapult individuals like yourselves that are tuning in today to the next level. So, salute to all of the speakers. They are strategic partners, they are friends, and we do life and business together. So, to all of the amazing speakers, thank you all so much for committing to showing up over the next 2 days to equip and empower business owners that are tuning in so that they can lead in their industry, right? Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our first speaker. But before that, I want you all to understand that the goal over the next 2 days here at the extravaganza is to give you all language, to give you all the tools, and to also give you all the resources that you need to one shift your mindset. It's important that we have a shift in our mindset that opens up our heart and our mind to go to that next level, right? Um, Change drives growth. And with growth, there can be growing pains. It's new information. So that requires a shift. Additionally, we want to also help you to master life and business. We also want to help you to market, to manifest. And finally, we want to make sure that you can make major money, right? So, that being said, we want for everyone that is tuned in and tapped in, if you're watching this live or if you're watching this on the replay, one, let us know where you're tuning in from. We want to hear from you. We want to know that you're present. We want to know that you're online. We want to greet you. We want to have a conversation with you. So talk to us in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from, what business industry you're in. Ask questions. If you have questions, we want to answer those questions. That's the whole purpose around this conversation that we're hosting here on your behalf. Additionally, we want you to enjoy this experience. So, with that, you all had an opportunity to play to win with our Rake It Up challenge. And I also have one additional gift for anyone that is up for the challenge. We are practitioners, we take action, and we live by principles. Global Works Consulting Group, it is a kingdom based business, okay? And we live by principles. So, with that, we know that there's power in proximity. So, whoever is up for the challenge, here it is. Whoever can take the best notes, capture quotes, capture key highlights, we want you to take that information, package it, and share it with us at Global Works Consulting Group after this event is over. You can share that information with us via email by sending it to clientsolutions@globalworksgroup.com. What will you get for that? So, we know again, proximity is power. So, we're going to fly you out to our next live event that me and a host of speakers that will be hosting. We're going to take care of your lodging and we're going to take care of your flight. And you will be able to be in the room amongst many, many, many people that are doing major things, game changers and history makers. Okay. I'm surrounded by game changers and history makers, and you are going to hear from them over the course of these next 2 days. So, for anyone that is up to the challenge, we want you to take some notes, capture some quotes, and share that information with us so that we understand that you are getting value that you showed up for and understand the takeaways, those things that resonated with you, because those are the things that we're going to continue to talk about and ensure that you are successful and you get the information that you need. So, again, without further ado, I am going to pass the baton and introduce our first speaker. First off, this is the lineup of speakers that you all can expect to see and hear from over the next couple days. And again, mindset, mastery, money, and marketing matters of doing business with the government is all things we're going to talk about over the next couple days. Here's the agenda, quick, brief view of that as we prepare to roll through. And our first speaker is the amazing Mr. Daryl Bullock. Oh my gosh, coming to you all the way from California. And Mr. Daryl, he is a veteran. I believe I can stop right there. He is an advocate for veterans for over 30 years, okay? And I'm just going to get out the way. I'm about to bring him to the stage. And hello, Mr. Daryl.
Hello, Aaron. How you doing? Thank you so much. This is very exciting for this extravaganza. It happened so fast, I tell you. But we say you don't have to get ready; you have to stay ready. So once again, thank you for the opportunity to share my experience and knowledges in a forum for capabilities, capital, connection, and contract. And you and I in private conversation always talk about capabilities because if you're prepared when the opportunity comes, you can succeed. So let me just say, first of all, if there's any veterans on the phone or know someone that's a veteran, they always like to say thank you for your service. But I like to say congratulations, and we appreciate you for your service because for the ones men and women who put themselves on the line today and yesterday, allow us to enjoy the freedom we have today. So with that, so my journey with this really began about 30 years ago when a good friend of mine, a Marine that I trained to get in the Marine Corps before I even went, got discharged before me. And I was stationed in San Diego at the time. And he had got out. He didn't want to go back to New York, where I'm a native New Yorker from born in Harlem, grew up in Brownsville in Brooklyn. And we tried everything possibly that we could to find him some resources to be self-sufficient. And there was nothing available for veterans back in 81. And so I made it a vow that from that point on, I would do all and everything that I could do to help any veteran, even if it was ET landing on the planet today, that I would be able to help a veteran be self-sufficient, whether they want to start their own business, understand their benefits, and get started to be able to utilize their transferable skills in the civilian world. So briefly, that really boils down to this simply as this. Every veteran has taken an oath, and I realize that that oath never expires. Every veteran has written a blank check to the United States of America to put their life on the line for the freedom of Americans. With that being said, there's approximately 20 million veterans in America, 2.4 veteran-owned businesses in America. And we now have an opportunity to not only serve those who have served. That's really the mission statement at the end of the day. I'm here to share with you how we can serve those who have served. Veterans are looking for you as well to do business with, whether they're partnering with you, joint venturing with you. There's a lot in what Erin does so well with the government contracting side. She teaches you basically how to partner with the people who print the money, the Department of the Treasury. What better opportunity is that to align yourself with an entity like that? So today I'm going to share with you several strategies. I will be saying a lot of quotes and utilizing acronyms that can stick to your mind or be comprehensive so you can be reminded in this brief time that I'm allowed and have to share with you. So I have a thing that I go around and I speak on veteran advocacy from A to Z. And I always talk about minding your business. When I talk about minding your business, more gold has been mined from the mind of mankind than the earth. So I always say, if you don't mind your business, you won't have a business if this is something you choose to do. A to Z veteran advocacy, I'll just go with a couple of basic letters that we have found in the 26 letters of the alphabet, solutions to help veterans be sustainable, scalable, and grow within their business. So A, B, C, D. First, you must ask yourself, believe, be committed to do something, have the energy, you'll get the freedom, and you're on your way. So that's just the base. Ask, believe, be committed to do something with the energy and the efficiency with being prepared in this world of business, and you can grow from there. Now, capability really boils down, I'm going to stick with the theme of this extravaganza. Capability basically is being prepared. Before you go in the military, one of the most important things they put you through, especially the Marine Corps, they put you literally through hell in them 13 weeks, which is the longest boot camp out of all the branches of services. And so that first phase out of the 3 phases of the 13 weeks is probably the most difficult because you're making the transition from a civilian to learning all of this military jargon and culture in the way they do things. Business is the same way. And one thing about Marines, their whole concept is intel and logistics. Today, we're using virtual logistics and we're using intel from the speakers and Aaron's platform to bring you the information you need to take the guesswork out of succeeding and being successful in business. So here's a good one for you. In saying that, you have to learn to find, define, mine, and you'll monetize. These are formulas I've come up with over the years. The military is known for the acronyms. They're always throwing all these letters at you. So, I mean, the fact that out of 26 letters, many expressions come out of that. Just like the business, your capability is only limited to your ability to understand what you're capable of. Then, of course, getting access to capital. So once again, find, define, mine, and monetize. If you don't know what you're looking for, don't define it for what it is. You'll never be mindful of it. Tap into the gold mine, and you will never monetize it. You won't make any money. And trust me, I've earned quite a few dollars with that little small formula: find, define, mine, and monetize. So connections. Network, your network is your network, is your network. networking like we're doing today is very important. One thing that's beautiful about the veteran community is one of the largest fraternal orders in the nation. And the reason why I had to find something that would transcend race, gender, and religion, it was that of being a veteran. Although Marines have their pride in priding themselves on being the best, we have a running joke about that. But the bottom line, there's different branches, but we all have the same roots. One common goal is to serve and protect this nation and to advance ourselves with the discipline that's transferable for the lives we have once we leave the military, whether you retire or not. So out of the 20 million veterans, there's approximately 2.4 million veteran-owned businesses that account for 1.2 trillion in annual receipts. That blew me away. Yet, that population only receives approximately 2% of the capital that's available in that arena. So that's when I started talking to Aaron too about that. I said, how can we bring these veterans to get more capability, connections, and capital to scale their businesses with that money that's floating out there? Well, she said, well, Daryl, the bottom line is that I work with the people who print the money, which is the Department of Treasury. What better partner to have? I said, that's right on and spot on. And so that began my quest as I was working on many things to get closer to learning more about what Aaron and her group does to bring it over to the veteran population. Excuse me. And once again, as I said earlier, my formula about find, define, mine, and monetize, you really have to understand that when you talk about contracts and business deals, contracts in law school, they teach you contract is one of the courses you have to pass. And all that's sitting in contracts is simply this: offer, acceptance, and consideration. Enter into knowingly, voluntarily, and intentionally. So the most important contract is the one you have with yourself before you begin to help anyone else. So once again, enter into knowingly, voluntarily, intentionally. You're offering something, you're going to receive consideration for that once it's been accepted. So those are some really good words she put up there for this extravaganza to be defined and to help us elevate and level up, as she stated, in our business. When you talk about transferable skills, there's two veterans that are very popular that I recall that really keeps me motivated. Everybody know about FedEx. Well, Fred Smith was a Marine, and he had got a failing grade for his dissertation on positively overnight mail. And now we know what that means, billions of packages later. But the one most important thing he said in his understanding of logistics, once he got the first package delivered, the rest was history. So I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you have to know your end game, but just get started. Don't get caught in the paralysis of analysis. But if you prepare properly, we all have the capability to succeed and gain access to capital and connections. And once again, on that word deal, it's the deal that makes it real, not the money. I've done more things from 0 to 100 so many times because I was able to put a deal together. There's someone looking right now looking to do a deal with you to help you scale up, level up your business with having an understanding how to put one together. And for sure, when you start talking about contracts and government contracts, you really have to understand your capabilities because that's what they look for, capability statement. Yes, Ms. Aaron.
Ooh, so good. Hey, carry on. I just had to come on screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you cut me off for a minute. Okay. So, I like to say today, so today you're going to get a GED and a PhD in this lecture today, or this small time. So what is a GED? You must, in order to have the capability, the capital connection, and get access to the contract, you have to get educated daily. Get educated daily. Now, the PhD, you can go from a GED to a PhD. And let me tell you from experience, I've had plenty of PhDs. And what I mean by that, I've been poor, helpless, and dependent. But I've been determined to be proud, happy, prosperous, and determined to never be that way again. So once again, these are just small acts. Get educated daily, prosperity, happiness, destination. We've all been disappointed, poverty, helplessness, and dependency. But those are just state of minds, as Aaron would say. And one thing about wealth, and the word wealth is well-being. Your health is your wealth. Your mind's your gold mine, and your spirit is your riches. As long as you don't go broke in them three areas, you're going to be just fine. Because that really, truly is your capability. If those are lacking, the money can't help you. I'm sorry. I've been around a lot of billionaires in my time, and I've spoken with billionaires, and they all say the same. If they could just trade in their money for their health, if they can recapture their spirit from their loss of hope, they would give all their money back. So that's why I love the words she said here today in her caption about the capabilities, capital, connection, and contracts, because those are the things you need to succeed. So in the future, we'll be doing more stuff. I'll be talking about how to go from 0 to 100, which I've done several times. I've read books and literally have been, I call temporarily relieved on my cash, read a book and made $100,000 in 6 months from that information. So that is possible. How you can go from zero to hero, hero to zero, and more zeros by putting yourself in position to boost up, as Eric says, level up and scale up your capabilities. Because we all have that. There's a term called native potential. We all have the ability to learn and reason. Learn and reason. That's what that means, native potential. You only have nurtured and natural. You naturally have a talent and you could be taught anything. If you nurture your natural, again, the capability will outshine anybody and everybody. And remember, you are the most beautiful person that walked this earth. You're the capital. Excuse me, you're the CEO of your world, because guess what? There's nobody else that act like you. They may look like you, sound like you, but the uniqueness to who you are is only independent to you. And you can't be nobody else because they're already taken. So why not be your best self and being prepared to move forward in this world? Aaron, I think you'll like this one. We talk a lot about a lot of things. I said I got to be careful what I say with it reason, but I'm not going to say that crazy. But there's a rapper that, and I'll give the name after I say the quote. But he said a real good one that really blew me away. He said, basically, know your Bible. So, oh, here we go with the religion. No, 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 no. Know your Bible. I told you I would speak on acronym. Basic instructions before I leave Earth. Killer Priest, Wu Tang. What? Know your Bible. What is your basic instruction before you leave this earth? As Les Brown, my mentor, said, what won't be the same because you came this way? And the space, the rent you will pay for this space that you occupy on this earth. This is slightly motivational, inspirational, but believe me, all this turns into money. Because I've been paid. A compliment, conversation connects you to the cash, right? Compliment, they see you, then they hear you and solve problems. I don't like to use the word problem, but problem basically is a solution. You only really have a problem when you think you do. That's what that boils down to. So at the end of the day, what I've done, I've searched the planet over the thousands of books I've read, the thousands of seminars I've attended, the forensic research I've done on the internet, and uncovered some outstanding, extraordinary systems that can scale and level up one's business, whether you're a veteran or not. Acronym of the word system: save yourself time, energy, and money. Save yourself time. Without a system, you're not doing anything. I'm sorry. You get in your car, if the system's not working, that could be just a chip. Your car is not going anywhere, right? If your feet hurt and you ain't walking too far today. Okay, so basically the system of systematizing your business is very important. So I've been able to uncover a lot of systems along the way that people who have done some extraordinary things in my research, and I've applied that to my business as well as the veteran community and anybody that would want to do business with us as we brought forth deals to the business world and opportunities. So in a nutshell, that's basically it. I don't know how much time I have left because I can go on and on, but the bottom line is you have to just do whatever it takes, be willing to do what it takes, and wait before you pay. Find out what your life purpose is, live your life on purpose, passionately, purposely, and you'll get the profit. Don't focus so much on the money. The money really is the acronym of money. I think it was Ayana Visant said, my own natural energy yielding. So if you're not attracting a lot of money, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
That's so good. That is
there you
so
go.
good. Oh, Daryl,
So,
thank you so much. When I tell you, you kick this thing off proper, you kick this extravaganza off with a bang. You drop so much rich value. for people to be able to digest, process, and be able to apply. So I just want to thank you so much. And I want everybody to know that they will be seeing so much more of you in the coming months,
Thank you.
as you prepare to plan the events and show up as a speaker and deliver. There's just so much within. And, at Global Works Consulting Group, we are an equal opportunity company, but there's a veteran preference here, right? We love to work with veterans. We serve veterans, and veterans are special in so many ways, just because of the foundations, the core principles, and the lifestyle that you all carry out. So I just want to thank you again so much
Well,
for
thank you
bringing.
so much for having me. It was my pleasure.
Yes, and tell the people how they can connect with you.
Pardon me?
Tell everyone how they can connect with you.
Well,
Um,
basically, you just email me for now. As we said, we're in development stages and doing a
okay.
lot of work. I'll be working closely with you, of course, Aaron. So
Yes.
my email address is simple. It's croshdc@gmail.com. So that's basically like crosshairs. Like, Marines are called known for getting it in the crosshairs. If you're in the crosshairs, too late. You're hitting it. So croshdc@gmail.com. Email me. I'll put you on my list. We'll be doing some webinars and some live workshops and seminars in the future. And
Yes.
looking forward to going out and spreading this wealth of information that I've learned and experienced and the price I've had to pay to learn all this and share to empower you. So yes, that's basically it. Email is fine. And Erin will keep you informed with her platforms on what I'm doing because I'll probably be right side by side with her as we move forward
That's right.
throughout the nation and globally, doing a
Oh,
lot of things to empower our community.
amazing. Thank you so much, Daryl. We
Thank you
appreciate
so much. I appreciate
it. And hopefully you
Thank you.
can come back for our group panel, so that they can hear more from you. Have a good one,
Sure,
okay?
sure. Just let me
All
know.
right.
Just let me know. Thank you.
We'll All righty. Hey, listen, thank you all so much again for tuning in and tapping into the Contracts and Business Deals Extravaganza. As we have already kicked this thing off, with a bang, we're going to transition into our next amazing speaker. We have Mr. T.L. Williams, who is here to talk with you, about just all of the amazing work that they have been doing at Crowd Wall Street. He is a social entrepreneur, and he is partnered with a great friend of mine. And when I tell you that TL and his partner Jamsky drop so much value, so much knowledge, and they have so much to offer to entrepreneurs, we would not do anything without these guys. Okay, so I'm going to get out of the way and bring TL on. He has experience in managing all aspects of business development and possesses the ability to work and remain calm under pressure. Excellent leadership skills. Check him out on social media. And when I tell you, you all are in for a treat. Make sure that you grab your pen, grab your paper, grab your phone if you're capturing snippets of this momentous experience. You want to hear what TL has to say. TL, welcome to the Contracts and Business Deals Extravaganza. We are honored to have you here with us today.
Hey, Aaron, it is an honor to be here. I am
You,
excited with all that you are doing, man. I'm just honored to be here to share some wealth and some gems with the audience, man. And I appreciate the introduction.
yes, sir. And I'm gonna get off your out of the way, hop off the screen, and turn everything over to you. The floor is
Let's
yours, sir.
do it. So I'm a PowerPoint guy, so I'm gonna share my screen real quick. So hopefully everyone can see this. Aaron, is there a way I can do it if everybody can see? Well, yeah, we there. I can see it myself. All right, cool. So I am TL Williams, known as Tavares. I mean, known as TL Williams, but my Name is Tavares Williams. And today I've been asked to talk about kingdom leadership, which always would tie into business. It will always tie into money, resources. Leadership is important for me. Um, this is one of my main things that I focus on is leadership, because if we understand leadership, and especially kingdom leadership, everything else will fall into place. So again, I hope you got your pen and paper, and let's get ready to rock. So I know on my profile it says good at time management, and for years I've been into time management, learning how to time, manage my time, my calendar, schedule meetings and appointments and stuff like that. But for the past couple of years, I learned that you can't really manage your time, but you can manage your life. And when we learn to manage our life, everything else will become manageable. So at the end of the day, we cannot manage our time, whether we moving forward or going backwards. Uh, Time is going to always flow. Right now, I see my clock ticking right now. I can't stop it. I can't speed it. I can't, rewind it. I can't pause it. So technically, we can't manage time. So I want to build my whole message based on this, not managing our time, but how we're managing our life. And so first thing we have to do is have to have a change in perspective. We got to have a change in perspective. What you see in front of you is three cases: James' suitcase, Sarah's suitcase, and Tiffany's suitcase. One thing they have in common is what? All these suitcases look the same. And so our days are like identical suitcases. Even though they are all the same size, some people are able to pack more into them than others. Why is that? It's because they know how to pack. I don't know about you, but when me and my wife travel, it probably take me two suitcases to pack to go to Orlando or Texas. My wife can just stuff everything in one suitcase because she knows what to pack. And so when we understand that we all have 24 hours a day, the question is, what are we doing within those 24 hours? Because we all have 24 hours a day, which leads me to my first point. Time is an equal opportunity employer. Time is an equal opportunity employer. Everyone gets 24 hours a day, but not everyone gets the same return on their 24 hours. I'm going to say that again. Everyone gets 24 hours a day, but not everyone gets the same return on their 24 hours. What we do within those 24 hours, because we all get the same 24 hours, would dictate the type of return that we get. The second point I want to make is that time management is an oxymoron. As I said it before, time cannot be managed. Time cannot be controlled. Time will always move whether we're moving forward or standing still. So if you can't manage time, what can you do? If you can't manage time, what can you do? The main thing you can do is manage yourself. See, the greatest challenge with any entrepreneur, any business owner, is leading yourself. And nothing separates successful people from unsuccessful people more than how they use their time. How they use their time. When we look at time from this perspective, everything we do in life will be measured by the time that is spent. And when it comes to money, how this money is going to affect my time? How this money is going to waste my time? By me spending this money, or whatever actions or things that I'm doing in life, how is it going to affect my life? And that's the thing that we have to realize. And when we look at, yes, I'm bringing scriptures to this thing. So if you look at Psalms 90 verse 12, it says, so teach us, this is Moses, he says, so teach us to number our days, that we may get a heart of wisdom. So here Moses is asking God for wisdom to account for his time. And as a leader, we have to have wisdom. How can we use our time in the right way? How can we make the most of our time every day? And as kingdom leaders, we should seek divine wisdom for the best way to live throughout each day. Y'all have to hear me on this. I'm not here just for to talk about money and wealth and all that type of stuff, because all of that are default by how we use our time. If we use our time appropriately and we measure our time the right way, and we have wisdom on how we use that time, money and wealth will come by default. And we have to understand that. So there are some key things that I want to share with you guys. And again, you can write this down, screenshot it, because everything that I'm talking about today has helped me tremendously in my life. It has helped me in my business. Crowd Wall Street is not my first business that I have started, but it has helped me in my business. It has helped me with my family. It has helped me how to deal with people and how to deal with being a husband, being a father, and everything, you name it. So the first thing I want to bring up is number one, don't undervalue your uniqueness doing what others want you to do. Don't undervalue your uniqueness doing what others want you to do. See, don't be that person that is busy but ineffective. A lot of people want to be busy, but that busyness is being ineffective. See, don't get caught up fulfilling others' expectations instead of doing what you've been gifted to do. We have to understand that. Many times we are living our life doing things that is not in our gift. It's not what our purpose is. It's not what God called us to do. And we spend our life trying to fulfill other people's expectations, and we end up losing hope. We end up getting tired and draining because we're undervaluing our uniqueness by doing what other people want us to do. So we have to understand that we have to be mission minded. You have to be mission minded. You should know what you do well and what you don't do well. And my partner Jamsky, which you'll hear later on, he talks about it all the time. He said, "Look, I know what I do good, and the things I don't know how to do, I'm gonna pass it on to somebody else." And that's what makes our time effective, because sometimes we get caught up doing things that we know we're not good at. We're doing things that we know we're not gifted at, all because we're trying to fulfill someone else's expectation. And so when we understand that our time is limited, we have to learn how to make the best of it. The second thing I want you to understand is that don't ruin your effectiveness by doing unimportant things. Don't ruin your effectiveness by doing unimportant things. See, it's not enough to be busy. The question is, what are we busy about? How do you judge whether something is worthy of your time and attention? Listen, I've been an entrepreneur for several years now, and I understand, especially those who's getting into entrepreneurship. You just starting a business, you're trying to go to every conference, you're trying to go to every seminar, you're trying to buy every book, you're just trying to do everything, and you end up becoming busy. But what I have learned throughout my process, I had to be selective. I had to be selective because a lot of things that I was doing in life was unimportant, and it ruined my effectiveness because my hand was in everything. I was trying to just grab so much stuff, and it would just end up being stuff. And so when we become mission minded, and as the gentleman said earlier, when we understand our purpose, our goals, our vision, our values, our principles of what we live by, we'll be able to manage effectively our life, and we'll start being selective of what we allowing in our life. That way it removes distraction, remove unimportant things. That way it helps us to be more effective when running a business. I hope y'all getting this. The third thing, it says, don't reduce your potential by doing things without coaching or training. This is so important. This is so important. Don't reduce your potential by doing things without coaching or training. See, anything worth doing is worth doing better. For me, I don't know about you guys, but I'm always trying to do better. I'm always trying to excel. I'm always trying to elevate. Every day, I'm always trying to be better, because when I make myself better, I make those around me better. When I make myself better, I'm better to lead others. When I make myself better, I become a better leader. I have more to offer when I become better. I become more valuable when I make myself better. See, I'm always amazed when people try to accomplish anything without benefiting from the wisdom of someone who is ahead of them in the same journey that you're walking down. Think about that. If somebody already went down the same journey, went down all the same path, and became successful, why not carve out some time and start getting some coaching and training for those individuals who already did it? Because all that's going to do is help increase your potential, and it's going to help shorten your time of making mistakes. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all ain't hearing me. So if you want to make the most of your time, make the most of yourself. If you want to make the most of your time, make the most of yourself. And you can do this by getting coaching and training. There's nothing wrong with having mentors. It's been very beneficial for myself to have mentors that coach me throughout the process. It helps me learn through a lot of learning curves that where the party took me 10 years to get, now take me 2 or 3 years to understand it. So here's what we got to understand with good stewardship. Good stewardship advance your overall purpose in life. So when we understand stewardship, because we've been called to steward, being called to steward not just resources, but called to steward our life. Our life is a privilege. It's something that we should value, and we have to learn how to steward our life. So it advances our overall purpose in life. This is what helps us grow when we learn how to steward our life. The second thing we have to understand is that good stewardship maximizes our strengths. So when we maximize our strength, the things that we are good at, it makes us more effective. When we maximize our strength, it makes us more effective. The third thing, good stewardship allows us to equip and coach others. When you do that, when you start coaching others and equipping others to do what you're doing, this is what's called compound productivity. Now, what I'm doing is 10 times better or 10 times more because now, because of my stewardship, because I have cultivated individuals in my organization, my business, my team, my productivity has been compound. And now it's going to be doing 10 times even more. Now, I know people, a lot of people don't believe in Jesus or anything like that. That's okay. But here's the principle. What Jesus said before he left, he said, you would do greater things that I have done. So you got to think about Jesus. Jesus was limited. Everywhere Jesus went, he was walking. Jesus couldn't, there was no planes, anything back then for Jesus to go to different, countries and be an effective leader. So Jesus was limited to his radius. But Jesus know the moment he leaves and send the spirit to come back to him, his apostles, his disciples would do greater things because they'll reach farther than what Jesus did when he was here on earth. So we have to understand that as leaders, we have to learn to equip and coach others so we can compound our effectiveness, our greatness, our uniqueness to be able to reach the broad. The next thing we have to understand is good leadership ultimately add value to others. This is where increases our influence. When we're able to add value to others. When we do this, when we're able to add value to people, and I'm a living testimony to this, when you're able to add value to people, the money will come by default. The money will come by default. It's like you'll be getting checks in the mail or direct deposits or setting appointments, people calling you to come do this and do that. Money will start flowing to you because you're adding value. People want some of that. People want that value. And when you do that, it increases your influence. So one thing I'm going to leave you with for us to understand is that leadership is not a position. Leadership is influence. So when we talk about stewardship, we're talking about the management of your life, your opportunities, your relationships, your talents, your resources, and your intelligence. The moment we start thinking about leadership as a position, the moment as a leader, we will fail. But when we start understanding that leadership is an influence, how can I influence my people, my organization, my team, or even my money to lead me to the way I need to go, to lead me towards my goals, to lead me towards my purpose? Leadership is all about influence. And so I want to conclude that message. It was quick on kingdom leadership. I really appreciate the time. I just wanted to leave you guys with these nuggets. Um, so, Aaron, I'm complete. I came and did a one hitter quitter.
Absolutely amazing. And I'm just thank you so much, TL. When I tell you, you broke that thing down, and when you just covered all aspects of why we are here today, to speak to being mission minded and investing in ourselves, it speaks directly to self mastery. And you're so right. We it's vitally important that we understand ourselves, apply ourselves, grow and develop ourselves so that, like you said, we can be good stewards, right? Of the gifts, what we have been purposed to do, and also be able to serve others. So this was beautiful. This was amazing. Thank you so much for showing up and delivering
Uh,
in the manner that you did. It was certainly powerful, so needed, and we are looking forward to hearing more of you.
Definitely, I
Hearing
got a
more
lot to
from
give,
you.
but I appreciate it, man. One thing I want to leave for us to understand is that, at the end of the day, we all trying to leave a legacy. Everything that we do today is for the generations to come. And one
Yes,
thing I want all of us to understand is that one thing I told my son, me leaving him a legacy is not what I'm leaving with him, but what I'm leaving in him, because what I leave in him, he'll be better a better steward to leave what I leave with him. So it's always important as a leader is what we're leaving behind in the people that are following us, in the people that we're stewarding, that we're leading. What are we leading in them? And I just want to end that note with that. And I appreciate the time, Edward. It was a pleasure. I look forward to doing more of these.
yes, sir. And please let everyone know how they can connect with you.
So you can follow me on Instagram, TL Williams, official TL Williams. And then you can also email me at tlw@crowdwallstreet.com. I am the co-founder of Crowd Wall Street, which is a crowdfunding platform. You'll hear a little bit more about that from Jamsky. The website is www.crowdwallstreet.com, where we help individuals raise capital. And that's it, man. For all my kingdom leaders, you can follow me on Twitter. I mean, not on Twitter, on TikTok, at TL Williams, official TL Williams. I think that's what it is. But yeah, so you can follow me on social media, TL Williams, man. Let's do it.
So I've been missing out. You're on TikTok. I'm not. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. Okay.
TikTok is all my spiritual leadership stuff that I do on TikTok. So yeah, I'll
Well,
send it to you.
just learned something new. Well, thank you again so much, TL. It has been a joy to have you here today to deliver in the manner that you have. And yes, there is so much more to come from Mr. TL. You all get connected and follow him on social media. There's so much more that will be coming from Mr. TL Williams. So hopefully you
Thank you.
can be here for our group panel so that they can hear more from you either today or tomorrow.
What time?
We'll make sure you get the agenda.
Thank you. I think I got it. I'll look at it up. I think I got
All
it.
right. Yep. Don't
All
quote me
right.
on it.
Thanks.
All right. Bye. All right. You all listen. That was Mr. T.L. Williams. Thank you so much again for all of the speakers that have committed to showing up and just releasing what's already within, right? How we serve. So I'm going to get out the way. We have the amazing, you have seen her before, Miss Angela Helm. She is at the helm of credit, business, finance, and I'm so excited to bring her to the stage because she is truly a powerhouse. Louisiana born and raised. She's brilliant. She's an entrepreneur at heart, and she is the founder of multiple successful, in quotes, successful companies, nationally recognized for her mission to fix it business coaching system. Angela Helm is an expert in the field of finance, education, credit restoration, money management, and business entrepreneurship. Angela Helm, come on to the stage, honey. We are so glad to have you here today. Oh my gosh, you look amazing. Yes,
Thank you. Thank you.
you are
I am
so
so glad to
welcome.
be here.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm going to pass the baton and get off the stage so that you can have the floor and do what you showed up here to do. Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you, Erin. Well, hello, everybody. I want to introduce myself first, tell you a little bit about me and my background. I spent over 7 years in the finance industry. I was a branch manager for Regions Bank. I was also a branch manager for Hancock Whitney Bank. And my time at the bank, I spent a lot of time as a branch manager with small business owners. And I noticed that, as a business, you don't get in business just to go into business. Usually something you're passionate about. And a lot of these business owners will go into business and they're looking to grow and scale the business. And they will come in and I'm motivated to help them in their documentation. The things that needed to have in place was not up to par, right? And it would kill me to have to turn them away and say, hey, I can't do it now. But one thing I did as a banker is I would say, this is what you need to do, and then come back and see me. So what I decided to do was start my own company. So when those business owners came in and it was either their financials weren't up to par, their personal credit score, because with business funding, we do look at the personal credit to personally guarantee the loan, the line of credit, whatever it is that we're looking at, the credit card, business credit card. And it would kill me to have to turn them away because their personal credit wasn't up to par. So I decided to leave banking, and I wanted to get the business owners ready for the bank. So now that's what I do. The one of my companies I have is a credit repair company, and I help everybody, consumers, business owners, whoever needs assistance with credit repair. And then I have my second business. I have a business academy, and with that business academy, I do consult with business owners. And what I do is the first thing I ask them is, what is your vision? What is the vision for your business? Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision, make it plain. Without a vision, you don't have a plan. So what is the vision for your business, and what is going to help you reach your goals for your vision? That's the main thing. So for the business owners that are looking to get capital for their business, to grow and scale their business, or even to start the business, if your goal is to get government contracts, are you ready? If the government grants you a contract, if you win that contract, are you ready? Do you have things in place? If you need to hire more people, do you have things in place? Are you able to pay employees if you have to hire employees, or if you have to provide equipment or merchandise to the government? Do you have enough funds to purchase that while you're waiting to get paid from the government? And so that is what I do. That's one of the questions as a business owner. I want you to ask yourself first, what's the vision for your business? Write it down. Don't just ask yourself, put it on paper and you write it down. And then after you write that vision down, what is your vision? And next you write, what do I have in place to prepare my business for, to either to start it or to grow and scale it? What do I need to do? If my goal is to obtain contracts with the government, what do I need to have in place for that? One of the things I tell my client is, you don't get ready, you already be ready. So this is preparation season. So write those things down. Do I need to start building business credit? What are the steps to that? What do I need to get in place before I even start that to give me a higher probability to be able to get approved for business credit? Do I need business funding for my business? Well, that means I'm gonna have to go through a bank or a lender, right? So what do they need from me? What financial statements do they need from me? Are my financial statements up to par where I can get approved for the loan? My personal credit score, what does that look like? You know, I meet some people and they say, I want to build business credit. My personal credit is not good, but I want to build business credit. Okay, yes, you can build business credit without using your social, but you'll be a one-trick pony. You don't want to do that. You are going to need a mixture of business funding and business credit. So you get those things in order. And that's the things that's what I want you to do. Write your list, make your list. What do you need to do to prepare your business for growth? Because your business is, you have the business that you have because God gave you that purpose. Something you are doing is going to touch or change the lives of other people. You're not in that business for no reason. So set yourself up for success, because it's going to be so many other people's lives that's attached to you walking in your purpose. So set yourself up for success, because there's so many people that need what it is that you have to offer. It doesn't matter if you're providing toilet paper for a federal prison, or it doesn't matter if you are a consultant and you're changing people's lives that way. Whatever it is that you do, you be the best at it and prepare your business for that. So those are some of the things that I wanted to touch on, um, and kind of give you guys some things to think about. Um, and that's pretty much it, Aaron.
Thank you so much, Miss Angela. When I tell you, you just broke that thing down about just being prepared and ensuring that we have our foundation in order for our life and our business, it's vitally important. I love your why. I love, just your whole story of working in the banking industry, seeing the limitations and those limits of the barriers, those barriers of entry, right? And those blockers that really impede progress and success. And you took that and you flipped it and created your company. I think that is amazing. And again, that's a purpose driven life. So you are living what you speak, what you preach, what you teach. And thank you so much for that, Miss Angela. It's a joy to have you here again, at the extravaganza, and I'm looking forward to doing more. So please let the people know how they can connect with you, so they can get connected and get the information that they need.
Okay. You can reach me at, I have two different email addresses, one for the Business Academy and one for my credit repair company. But you can reach me at email for the credit repair company, client, CLIENT, support at mission2fixit.com, and the Business Academy info at mission2fixitacademy.com. You can follow me on Facebook, um, with both businesses, Mission to Fix It Business Academy and Mission to Fix It Financial Solutions, or my personal pages, Angela Helm Wins on Instagram and Angela Douglas Helm on Facebook. I look forward to some of you guys.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you again so much, Miss Angela. And hopefully you can come back for one of our group panel sessions.
I'll be
All
happy
right.
to.
All right, talk to you later. All right, you all. You heard it directly from the helm, from Miss Helm. Thank you again so much, Angela, for being here. I am going to introduce our next speaker. We have the amazing Rose Allure Lewis. She is known as Credit Goddess. And what better way for her to come right behind Angela, as she prepares to turn on her camera and sound? I am going to introduce her. She is the credit master strategist, who is serving here at the extravaganza. She is a wealth coach certified in credit consulting, and also she is a part of the Credit Consulting Association. That's vitally important to get connected to the associations and those local organizations where policies are made, decisions are made. So I love that she's connected to the association, and she's well versed, in the industry. She talks about budgeting, finances, launching businesses, and investing in real estate, and also preparing for retirement. So without further ado, I am going to bring Miss Rose to the stage. Hello, hello.
Hey
So
there.
glad to have you. You look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. How
Yes,
and
ma'am.
all the amazing experts that just spoke. I enjoyed the conversation. Great synergy. I love it. I love it. Um,
Indeed, indeed. So I'm going to turn the stage over to you.
okay.
All right, and you can just go with the flow. Thank you so much for being.
You're welcome. You know what? I love what Angela just spoke about. And, that is so, so, so important in business, um, is the credit, you know. So I'm going to be very brief because I do have a consultation right after. But I'm going to speak in the importance of business credit. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a little bit about me. I was in the mortgage space. I did hard money from 2006 to 2008 before the housing market crash, and it was an experience. I've never went through the Great Recession is what they called it. I never went through that before, and it warranted me to get into the credit space and also loan modification. So I got to understand what consumers went through when it came to mortgages and loans and even credit card debts, right? So even though I helped other clients, I still didn't understand the importance of it because I was raised in a household where they say you don't want to get into debt, you don't want to borrow on credit and things like that. So that's what I was taught, right? But something, a light bulb hit, right? A light bulb hit when my boyfriend and I, we were looking for a place to stay, and we had bad credit, and we wanted to deal with private owners, right? Because they didn't really care about, your credit. They just wanted first class security, which we had, right? So it was a private owner, was renting his place down here in Florida. I'm from Florida. Down here in Florida, now, it's expensive here. And it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square feet condo for $800 a month. That's unheard of, right? But I guess after the housing market crashed, a lot of the properties had to go down, whatever the case is, right? And so I asked the owner, why are you renting this place for $800 a month? Because this place can easily go for $1,600. And he said, well, that's how much property values are going for right now. And I'm like, really? So I said, well, how much did you get it for? He said, $18,000. I said, whoa. And the light bulb hit me because, at the moment I didn't have credit. We were barely scraping the first last security for the condo that we were living in, that we wanted to move to. And that's when I thought, and I said, you know what? Credit is leverage. That's when the light bulb hit me. So took the time to learn about it. I read books. I even got myself certified so I can help others. This was in 2012. So I'm like 10 years in with good, excellent credit. And it also put me in position where I can access to business credit, which I did in 2016, quit my corporate job, cold turkey, and leverage my business credit till today. Haven't clocked into anyone's job. I was never that person to want to work for someone. I always wanted to work for myself. So it actually put me in position to do so. Now, me being in the space for so long, for the past 6 years, I've ran into so many different entrepreneurs, and they will also come to me. Now, I'm a credit score improvement strategist, is what I call myself. And a strategist is the fact that, a lot of people have this this concept that credit takes a long, long time. Yeah, it does, but we can manipulate the scores and stuff like that. Which we're not going to talk about that. But what I like to touch on is credit is you, right? Credit is you. You have to build the trust in the relationship, right? How many of you guys ever lend money to a friend and never gave you the money back? So they have bad credit with you. If they ask you in the future if they want to borrow money, you won't lend to them because of the past experience. So when we're looking at our credit profile, when we're looking at our credit score, I don't want you guys to get caught up on the score. I want you guys to get caught up on the experience that you have with other banks and other lenders, right? These are relationships, and they're just documenting their experience with you, right? That's how we need to look at credit. So that way we can have a different view and different perception of how we look at credit. We tend to pass on the negative connotation that, you don't want to get into debt and things like that. But if we actually think about it, and if we actually work the numbers, our 9-to-5 income is not going to warrant us the path to generational wealth, right? Leveraging other people's money would. But in order for us to leverage other people's money and have access to their money, we have to build the trust, right? As Angela mentioned, she touches and she helps her clients with credit, personal credit. Now, when we're talking about leveraging business credit, there are 5 C's to credit, and I'm going to talk about the top 3. The top 3 is your character, capital, and collateral. Okay. A lot of times we would get clients that don't have the character, meaning they're good. They don't have good personal credit. And if they don't have good personal credit, and if they run in a business, they don't have the capital yet. That's why they're looking into funding and getting business credit cards so that way they can fund their business. So if they don't have the asset or the capital, then how can we actually establish and acquire assets, right? Character, your personal credit is so important. That is the key to accessing other people's money. And then we can transition to business credit, then corporate credit. There's levels to it. So what I help my clients do is help them understand the importance of credit. Let's not look at it like I need this right now, because good credit is a lifestyle. It's not something that's temporary, right? It's not something that you can just do for you can strategize and do for a couple of months, and then you get the money and you quit. No, it's leveraging, right? You want to be in a position where anytime you go to a bank and anytime you go to a creditor or a lender, you're always approved and never denied, right? So what the credit profile is actually is actually documenting and showing your creditors and lenders and whoever want to lend money to you is your money behavior, which Daryl spoke about earlier about just having good money management and having a good just being a good stewardess. All right. So just understanding that. What's the principle of it? Because at the end of the day, it's the principle. If you understand the principle, then you would pretty much you act towards it, right? So what I help my clients do is first setting up the foundation for the business credit, right? You want to make sure that your business is properly set up. A lot of times, I mean, even leading up to the business credit, a lot of us are not properly set up, which is why I put together a group called Black Women Get Funded Too, because we are the lowest I would say the entrepreneur as far as like race. We're the lowest in the funding, right? And I'm only going to speak from my experiences that we don't have everything that we need to have in place, which is credit, a business plan, and all the things that we need to have in place to move on to the next level. You want your business to be fundable, right? And I also want you guys to think of the concept like if you decide to want to sell your business, having business credit in your business gives it a better advantage. It gives it more value. The fact that your business has established its own credit separate from you, right? So I help create the foundation of your business credit. And then also optimizing your banking, your assets, your revenue to maximize fundability. Having those three components puts you in a more competitive edge into actually acquiring more assets is if you have those things together. So your bank accounts, that's vital for business credit building. Identifying your business assets and business owners, they also play a role as well. So if you're in a partnership, if you have multiple partners, you definitely want to make sure that their credit is together too. All right, because we're now doubling or tripling or quadrupling our purchasing power just having all of those partners together. So not have one of your partners have good credit. Let's have everyone, right? Everyone. Also, after we do the optimizing of your banking, your assets, your revenue, the next thing we want to do is getting set up with all the business credit reporting agencies. A lot of times we tend to skip steps and we go straight for the money, but we don't set up the foundation, the administrative, and even the profile. Because if you're not setting up the profile and you're going straight to the vendor accounts and the credit accounts, like where is that being reported? Because let's back it up here. Your business is an entity, is a person, right? It's its own separate entity. It's you as a parent, let's say that, and then your business as a child. It has no credit. Kind of look at that business as an 18-year-old just coming into the adulting world, never had his own job, never established his own credit, and you having to co-sign for it. This is the reason why your personal credit has to be together, because your business have not established its own credit. So you will have to co-sign for it. That's where the personal guarantee comes from. So just in case the business fail, you're liable, right? So that's the reason why they ask for that. A lot of times I get clients that say, I want to build business credit that's not tied to my personal. Let me tell you, they're always going to check your personal. They're always going to check your personal, unless you're going to take the time to actually build out the business organically and not rush the process. Because again, trust it takes time to build. This is where time, but if you don't have the time to wait to establish the credibility and you want to kind of speed it up a little bit, this is where your personal credit comes in, right? All right. So I also want you guys to understand, a lot of people don't mention the variable. The variable is revenue. We got to have revenue in our business, because this is where the piercing of the corporate veil comes in when you're commingling funds, when you're bootstrapping your business and you got these business credit cards because your personal credit is good, and your business is not jumping off like you were expecting it to do, and then you go and use your personal income, or you're commingling funds where your money is going from your business to your personal to business. It has to be separate, which is why establishing business credit as you're going in, and also having a plan, like Angela said. If you don't have a vision, you're planning to fail. So this is where business plan is so important, because it's a GPS on what you're going to do next. What is my next plan? Now that I've done stage 1, I'm on to stage 2, or I'm on to phase 3, I'm on to phase 4. So it gives you the blueprint of what you need to do next. Okay. So once we've established all of that, I'm trying to compile into one, because I usually take an hour or so to talk about this, but 10 minutes trying to give you all the bite-sized pieces and help you guys understand the importance of credit, right? After you establish your business foundation, your business presence. I didn't talk about that, but your business presence is like having a website, being on social media platforms, because vendors and creditors are checking. They're checking to see if you are not a glorified hobby, but you are actually in business and you have this big business persona. So making sure that you are found on social media is so important, or any social media platform, on any web, www, World Wide Web, that you have to be found, right? Once you set that up, then you want to set up your profile where all of your payment experiences will be reported, right? You need to establish relationships with other businesses. Vendors are other businesses. It's B2B business, and they are reporting how you are making your payments on time, because that's solely what it's based on. So we're trying to get to corporate credit. Corporate credit is on a level of you having employees, you have reached that 1.49 revenue in your business because you have grown in scale, and now you're about to be this big business, and now you can tap into corporate credit, which a lot of people don't talk about, because that's the next level, right? But we need to get our business credit established, right? By building relationships with vendor accounts. Thank you, Laquan, for building relationships with the vendors. The vendors is who's going to give you a chance, right? Because you are a new business. You have not established any type of relationships with anyone. So when we're starting with these vendor accounts, and I'm giving you guys a reason why you're doing this, because you need to establish a score, right? Before we move on to level 2, where we get the unsecured cards. Just like on the personal side, you don't want to just go for American Express and Chase. They're not checking for you if you don't have no experience, right? So you need to show some type of experience, payment experiences, before we move on to tier 2, tier 3. And the reason why I'm breaking it down like that, because sometimes we tend to put the cart before the horse, right? And sometimes that can mess us up. And I've seen that a lot. I have to clean that up a lot for clients, because yes, we are focusing on, let's get that line of credit. I need that credit card. I need that funding, but we need to do things properly. And we want to be set up properly as well, because what is your goal? Is your goal to run this business, pass it on to your children, sell it, right? So you want to make sure that all of your affairs are together. I'm gonna just end it right here, because I can go on and on and on, but I do look forward to, hosting more workshops with you, Aaron. We already got some things in place. But yes, I plan to come out and just share this information based on my experience with business owners and what I run into, and share that with you guys, so that way you don't run into the same issue, having to dissolve the company and start all over again. That we can't do that. So about going about it the right way is what we need to do. So I appreciate you, Aaron, for putting this together and getting all the experts in one place, because the folks out there need us.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And thank you again so much for, just drawing from your experience and, really helping individuals on a deep level to set the foundation, right? You talked about optimizing, our profiles, our personal credit, as well as, establishing that business credit. And you also just connected stewardship, right? Stewardship has been a common thread throughout all of the conversations here today. And what I was very clear of when we were planning for the extravaganza is that every speaker that's connected here, understands mindset, and we have experience that can truly help individuals navigate their life and their business as they position themselves, to go to the next level, to show up in purpose and do those things that they have envisioned to do in their business. So, just really, really excited about the value that you continue, to bring here, with Global Works Extravaganza, also on Clubhouse. You're everywhere. But I also wanted to mention that you spoke to relationships and trust. And at the end of the day, those are the principles that we must live by, right? Building trust and building healthy relationships. And that first relationship is with ourselves, right? So again, back to the self mastery. So I just love, love, love how you were able to just encapsulate everything that has been said thus far, but really deliver it in your own manner from your own experience. So, Credit Goddess, please tell the people how they can connect with you on social media.
Yes, yes, yes. You guys can connect with me on both Instagram and Facebook at Your Credit Goddess. You can actually go to my website as well at yourcreditgoddess.com. Currently, it's under construction. And for the ladies that are watching, Erin and I, she is one of the experts in this group that we are pushing. It's called Black Women Get Funded Too. You can find that on Facebook as well. Go and send your invitation there. Once the group is ready to launch, with all of the experts that will be there hand to hand to assist you on how to get your business fundable from start to finish. We definitely let you guys in, and I want you guys to bring all your boss babes through, because this is what we're going to be there for. So definitely go to that group as well. Black Women Get Funded Too, and yeah, we'll see you there. Thank you for having me, Erin.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Credit Goddess.
You're welcome.
All righty. We are moving this thing along. We have our next speaker, Mr. Jamsky. Jamsky French. Jamsky has been with us for prior extravaganzas, and he is back again. So really, really, really excited to have him. Jamsky is a co-founder of Crowd Wall Street, and he's all things business finance. He's always posting some gems on social media. If you want to follow the money, if you want to know and understand where people are investing, where the trends are in the financial market, follow him on social media. His social media is there. But at Crow Wall Street, it's a private market investment platform supporting equity, debt, and revenue share transactions for startups and growing companies as well. And their mission is to build collaborative ecosystems to access that removes those structural barriers. So again, Jamsky is here. And we are just so excited to have him because he brings so much value, so much value. So, Jamsky, I am going to bring you to the stage. 1 second as I work to remove Credit Goddess. There we go. Hey, Jamsky, how are you? We can't hear you. Unmute yourself. We need to hear you, sir. We need to hear you. You're still muted.
I'm sorry. What's going on, Erin? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm all right. I can't complain. Excited, man. You got some great speakers that have come up, and I'm just excited.
Listen, thanks for coming back. Okay, thanks for coming back. Thanks for staying connected, and thanks for continuing to build and grow with us. You bring so much value in every space that you show up in. So I am going to get out of the way. I'm going to turn the stage over to you and let you roll with it. Thanks again, Jamsky.
Thanks for having me, Erin. Appreciate it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jamsky here, co-founder of Crowd Wall Street, investment crowdfunding platform. And I guess where do I start? Well, I guess I'm gonna start with mindset, but I'm gonna get into the business first, and I'm gonna kind of elaborate on Crowd Wall Street and what we do. What is our initiative? So, Crowd Wall Street, our goal is pretty much to help founders raise capital for their businesses, to either they want to grow and scale their company, or we can also help you leverage that capital to acquire other companies. And then our platform is also great for founders looking for new assets to invest in. So all my credit people that have came up here previously, definitely got to connect, we're that last, stop after they get all those things together with the personal credit and the business credit and all that good, that good stuff, then we would be like that next step for that. But I think before getting into, the crowdfunding aspect, I want to tap into mindset. So I have the definition right here. So mindset. Your mindset is a set of beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world and yourself, and influences how you think, feel, and behave in any situation. And the reason I want to speak on mindset is because a lot of times when me and TL first started, we was doing at least like 5 businesses a day that we were consulting with as far as helping them to raise capital. And we had these businesses, a lot of minority businesses that was looking to raise, just crazy amounts of money, and by the time we get through talking to them, they realized that their business wasn't structured as well as they may have thought it was structured or whatnot. So that's why it's very important to talk to, like the young ladies that was just on here, talking to somebody like that to help you get your business set up in a manner to where you can, actually get access to that capital. For me, I'm always talking about the deals like the Elon Musk and the acquisitions, because that's where my passion is at, mergers and acquisitions. And I feel like a lot of times if our businesses aren't structured properly, right? As a saying that you want to structure your business as if you're going to sell it, even if you don't intend on selling it. And so my thing with mindset is getting a lot of founders to run their businesses, different from how we've been doing things previously. And when I say that, going from owner operated, a lot of times we get these businesses that's owner operated and they're trying to raise these huge sums of money. And it's like, well, the thing is, if we remove you from this business, how valuable is this business? Or is this a business, or is this a glorified job? So just getting people to understand the difference of the two. Right. And then when we get this capital, right, everybody say what they would do if they had this money like this person. And it's like, well, if you got $1 million right now, what makes me believe that you would know what to do with it when, we've seen how you've handled other sums of money. Right. And now you want us to believe that if you was to raise X amount of dollars, that you would be able to, spend that and flip it and do those things. So my thing is mindset. And, being able to follow the people before you, like TL said, and seeing some of the things that they did, so, we have a lot of people that have these businesses, and instead of, chasing not chasing, but like learning and following the heads of those industries, we're following people that's just probably like a little bit ahead of us. And we're all going down the same kind of rabbit hole in a sense. And the goal for Crowd Wall Street is to help people build businesses that are sustainable. That when you get through with our platform, whether you raise your money or not, when we talk to you in the next couple of years, you're reaching new milestones. And we're not, congratulating you on having, 10 years of business or 20 years of business, but nothing really to show for it. Have you been able to employ other people outside of yourself? How have you been able to put other people into position to grow, right? And, one of the great examples of when we talk about following people, I was, I'm in the Bible as well, and I seen where Jesus was a disciple of John the Baptist, and then that tripped me out because I'm like, wow, here is Jesus, one of the like the most prominent figures in the Bible, and he was a leader, like he was known as a leader, but they say in order to be a great leader, you have to first learn how to be a great follower, right? So Jesus was a disciple of John the Baptist before he went on and and gained his prominence in the Bible. And a lot of people don't know that, so it's just like when I'm starting business, I'm always studying the likes of the top hedge fund guys and the top private equity guys. I'm studying these guys. So everything that I'm doing, right, because we all have the same 24 hours, I'm mimicking like some of the things that they're doing. We have people that buy houses, but I'm like, I want to buy shopping centers. Like, I don't look at shopping centers and get scared like, oh my God, that's out of my range or whatever. And a lot of times that's what I get when it's like, okay, let's pull some funds together to acquire this. And it's like, oh, that's crazy. How are you going to buy that? And it's just like, the mindset has to change in order for the wealth gap to close. in order for us to take that $2.2 trillion worth of spending that we're bringing into the market and turning those monies into investing in the market, right? To get from, just buying stocks, right, and getting stuck at the personal credit and the business credit, like getting stuck there, like it's cool to start there, but then elevating to that next stop to where instead of buying stocks, let's get in on some of these companies pre-IPO before they get on the stock market, understanding that the people who invest in those stocks before it goes on the stock market are the ones that's really, cleaning up. That's where the billionaires are made. And if you're making $10,000, I just made $10,000 a day, I'm doing $20,000 a day. That is dope, right? I don't knock anybody for that, but when you know the things that I know, when you talk to investment bankers and people of that sort and people in those classes, you understand that if I got into Facebook before it went public, oh my goodness, and thanks to the Jobs Act in 2012, now Crowd Wall Street, we are helping our founders and our investors, get access to those opportunities. And a lot of people aren't keen on crowdfunding. So, when we get through with this live, I want you guys to go on crowdwallstreet.com. We got Crowd Wall Street Facebook group. We have Crowd Wall Street Instagram. And I just want everybody to, after you get through building your personal credit, if you have to do that and building your business credit, to study crowdfunding, study our platform and understand how we can raise capital, right? Elon Musk is one of the wealthiest people. Elon Musk is worth north of $250 billion, and he just raised capital to acquire Twitter. You guys, like, understand that just because you have the means to buy something, that doesn't mean that you have to use your own money. And so when I speak of OPM, I'm speaking of OPM in a sense of raising funds, raising capital to acquire whatever it is that I want to acquire, and understanding that when you learn to master this industry, which is what we're on the verge of doing, is master this industry, nothing is off limits. The fact that even though he's a billionaire, you just wake up, I want to buy Twitter, and he raised money from corporate banks and raising from family offices and things of that sort, and you can just buy things. Right? Like, you can buy things. So leveraging these relationships that we have, everybody got a cousin that's probably in the league or who do music, and they got money parked and they want to get a business write off or whatever, and understanding how to speak to these people in a way to where they would fork that money over to you. Right? And now we got a conglomerate of people doing that. And now we're able to buy these large assets, and we're not just delegated to the entry level and the entry points of investing. Right. So the time for us to take things, to that next level is now, and there's nothing wrong with, like, the stock market is dope. I got stocks. I own Dogecoin. I own that stuff. And, I'm saying, like, the personal business credit, I was doing the coaching. I help people get access to that and whatnot. But once we get past that, right, it's like that next level. How can we all leverage all of our resources and finances that we got, right, and take it to that next level? How can we do that? And so that's what it's, that for me, that's what I'm always speaking on, just kind of us doing things on an elevated level. And it's a quote, right? I got a quote from the Bible. It's Mark 9:23. Jesus said unto him, you can believe, it says, if you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes, right? So in one section, we got people that go to church every day, and God can do anything for me. There's no limitations. But then they go out and then they're doing the simplest of the simplest things, right? So it's like, if this is true, well, let's put that belief system to the test, right? And how can we take that belief system and leverage that? Because we know that through God, nothing, like, everything is possible. Nothing is off limits, right? But when you go to church and we say these things and we're reading these scriptures, and then we go out and we do limiting things, right? Then how much do we believe in the Bible? How much do we believe in God, right? And I understand that a lot of this is education, right? So the goal is, how can I educate myself? The next time I see Jay-Z sold this company for 300 mil that he bought for 30 mil, and how Rihanna took her brand, right, at 32 to become a billionaire, and I got a boutique as well, right? How can I educate myself so that I can do business on that level? I don't have to do the same thing that Rihanna did, which take Fenty Beauty and partner with Bernard Arnault, the guy who owns Dior and all that. But if I take my brand and I partner with a larger brand, right, somebody who is very reputable in my industry, how can I take my brand and my business and partner with them and scale and grow to that next level? This is how I just want people to think. You know, this is what I speak to. I just like now that I've gained the knowledge, I am not limited by anything. But the fact that the fact of the matter is that I need more people to think the same way. So now we see something, we know, okay, well, let's pull our resources together and let's buy it. We see a high rise, and we're not thinking, oh, only some wealthy old white guy can buy this. But if we all pull our resources together via crowdfunding and raising capital, that we can have access to these same things. They're not off limits to us. It's just the education and the limited beliefs that we have, been raised with throughout our household. But what I'm telling you today is to eliminate those self-limiting beliefs. And it's okay to want to scale and grow and take your life to the next level. Okay. God created the earth, and it's okay for us to have riches. So when you see somebody wealthy, no longer are the days of us saying that, oh, they need to give this to the poor or whatever. How about we all work together to sustain some type of level of wealth, right? Because leaving wealth for our kids, it's going to take more than some of the things that I've been seeing us doing on a daily. That it's going to take more than that. Like wealth is long term. So, okay, we know how to make money as owner operated. Can we make money without us being there? Can we go on a 6-month vacation and that engine is going to keep churning out money? And a lot of times, no. We get to the owner operated, probably get to $1 million a year, maybe a couple million, and that's it. But we want to build something that's sustainable, that can stand the test of time, and something that could be passed down to our kids, or it could be sold, right? Because business is a type of retirement. A lot of people don't know that they can sell their business, but a lot of times you cannot sell your business if you're the only one working. You're doing everything, right? We got this thing where we're superheroes. I don't want to be a superhero. I want to be good at what I'm good at, and I want to delegate everything else that I'm not good at. I want to find the people who are just as good, if not better than me. I want everybody to be better than me. And I want to bring them together. And a lot of people are afraid of competition and bringing in somebody smarter than them into their business. And I'm looking at these VCs and I'm looking at these private equity guys, and that's the game. That's the name of the game. Be good at what you're good at and hire talent that is good, if not better than you, to scale and grow your company. And one day you can sell that bad boy, because what if your kids don't want to do what you want to do? And you're the only one doing it. You can't even pass it off to them, and they can't even just manage the business because they got to get in here and do the same thing they saw their grandma do, their mama do. I want a business where if my kids want to run it, they just come in and check, oh, okay, everything is good. And if they want to sell it, cash out, and buy something that they want to do, then they can do that. But so I don't want to go too much further. It's just my thing for me. Whenever I speak, it's always going to be about mindset, and I don't have any limitations. And if it's something that may seem that's daunting, right, the goal for me is to educate myself, and like what TL said, find the who's who in that industry and study them. I love to study people and learn how they did whatever they did, and what can I do to replicate that success or get as close to it as possible, right? So my motto is, if I can imitate 1% of what the multi-billionaires is doing, at least I'm already at 100 billion, or I'm already doing better than most people, right? If I look at what this person did with I don't know, with Facebook, Instagram, or whatever it is, Tesla, if I'm in the cars, if I can imitate 1% of this person's success, who's a multi-billionaire, at the least, I'm going to touch a couple of 100 mil, right? They say shoot for the stars, and at the least you will land amongst the moon. So the goal is to aim higher, educate ourselves on higher finance, that next level of finance. How can we scale our companies? It's not enough to just grow your company, but we want to scale our companies. How can we create companies to take them to the stock market, even if we don't plan on going on the stock market? How can I scale my company and position it to that if I wanted to take my company public, I can do that? This is how we're going to start thinking from now on, and that's the goal, right? But I understand that everybody plays a role in society, and everybody's not going to think that way, right? But the more people we can get to change that mindset and think in that manner, and not being afraid of doing big deals and doing big businesses, and not being afraid of competition, and not even competition, but knowing somebody is better at you at this specific thing, and not being afraid to hire them and bring them on, the further we'll be able to get as a collective. The further we'll be able to get as a collective, you guys. And yeah, Jamski here, co-owner, co-founder of Crowd Wall Street, crowdfunding platform. And if you have any questions about raising capital and how you can scale your business, reach out and talk to me and TL. I mean, we got the social media platforms, let's do this thing, man. Let's take businesses to the next level. We need more minority public-owned businesses. I shouldn't be able to count on my one hand how many public businesses we own. But if we're not thinking to build companies to go public, then it will never happen. We have to change the mindset. And that's all I have for you guys right now.
Wow. Come on here, Jamski French. I mean, you just came here and just shifted everybody's mind. Thank you.
I appreciate you for having me.
So
appreciate you having me.
much. I mean, that was so good. I'm sure many are gonna go back and
wow. I'm looking at the chats right now. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate all you guys.
Yes, Jamski, that was so powerful, and thank you. We're looking forward to hearing more from you on these social platforms. I just have to take a moment and pause for the cause and literally thank Clubhouse. When I say everybody, everybody on here I met and connected with on Clubhouse, and great, amazing people doing great things that have experiences that can literally change the trajectory of your life and help you get there faster and better because you've done the work. You understand intimately to how to help people get to that next level. So thank you for being a navigator in that sense, for real.
And one more thing, Aaron, like TL said, we all have 24 hours, right? And life is limited. So you want to spend those 24 hours getting as much out of those hours as possible. And you're only going to do that doing, you're going to start off with the small deals, but we work our way up that ladder. These billionaires got the same 24 as us, but it's all about delegation. Find the right people and put them in the right positions. But we got to do bigger. We got to scale higher. And that's it.
Yes. And Jamski, you're so right when we talk about how we create opportunities for people, right? Yeah. We are all gifted and we all have purpose. Yes. And at the end of the day, we know what's within. We need the outlet to plug into. So that we can deliver, so that we can show up, so that we can apply ourselves, right? That's what you're saying. Create those opportunities and open yourself up as a leader, because we are all leaders, and allow someone else to help us move forward, to help us build, to help us grow those companies and go public. We need people. At the end of the day, people need people.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm about to get you started, Aaron. Oh, I'm about to get you started.
No. It's all of y'all's time. All of the people that I am connected to, y'all are just so dope. And I'm just so grateful to be able to share this space with you all and put you all in front of the masses, right? And this is just the beginning. We're going to do an in-person experience where we literally take a day or two or whatever it takes to literally help people build and lay those foundations. And that's going to be where we plant the seed. And from there, we are going to nurture it, in whatever we call a mastermind or whatever we put together. But I'm just really excited about just being able to show up for the people, right? And be able to impart and help them to navigate and get to that next level, because you're right. People need to hear more from us who are doing the work, and we have the systems in place, we have the tools and the resources, and it's just a matter of them accessing it, right?
Yeah.
So thanks again, Jamski.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you 1,000%. I'm gonna get out the way and bring on our last speaker for the day. We have Miss Danny Smith Mathis, who, again, I met on Clubhouse. She is an amazing powerhouse. She is a voice to hear, right? Miss Danny is phenomenally amazing. And I just got carried away with Jamski. I'm over here driving and just had the screen all saying all kinds of things. Jamski just ignited that fire. But Miss Danny Smith Mathis, she is an excellent communicator, both in writing and orally. And she is one of the best kept secrets. And truly, Miss Danny is on her way to paving a way of access to contracts. She is a phenomenal proposal writer. She is versed in grants and executive summaries and white papers. And Miss Danny knows how to win the contract. So let me get out of the way, bring her on to the stage. Hey, Miss Danny.
Yeah. What's up, girlfriend? How you doing? And yes, thank you to Clubhouse.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for creating space to come to this extravaganza and just share your experience and pour into the people. There's so much that you have done over the years, and we are really committed to ensuring that. I don't know why the word recompense comes to mind, but just really ensuring that your next level is really going to revitalize everything that you've done thus far. And there's just going to be multiplication. Multiplication. You're really going to do some exponential growth. So thanks again so much, Miss Danny, for being here. I am going to turn the stage over to you, and go ahead. The stage.
I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that, Jamski. My goodness. But I want to thank all of the speakers that came before me, because even as a seasoned professional, I not only try to stay relevant, but I also try to stay teachable. So I want to thank all of you who have come before me, because I'm a late bloomer in the entrepreneur game. So anyway, thank you so much for giving me. I took notes. I really did. I was taking notes from all of everything everyone said. So thank you, and Aaron, thank you for holding this space. It's really phenomenal that you have that you do what you do, and so just honored to be part of this group of really great people. So yeah, let's talk about writing. What a segue, right? Writing. Well, it is a business, as you well know. So I'm Danny Smith Mathis, and I have been literally writing since the age of 9. And I want to explain writing to you in a way that hopefully it makes sense to you. So as we know, communication and corporate communication, let's zero in on corporate communication. We know that as internal and external. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm from New Jersey. I use my hands, so no judgment, okay? So we have corporate communications that are internal and external communications. And so within that, I want you to think of not just public relations, because there's a difference between public relations and corporate communication. So I'm not talking necessarily about public relations, but there are basically, I would say, 8 arms to corporate communication. So if you look at public relations is up here, and then sales is really down here. And on the opposite ends of each spectrum, to the east and to the west, you would have like investor relations, communications, and internal communications, and crisis communications, right? And then your advertising, which is different from public relations, and then your all the social media and marketing. So all of that is corporate communications. But I want to talk specifically in the 10 minutes I have, because this is a lot to pack in 10 minutes, but I want you to think of these in a triangle. And the triangle is broken into 3 parts, right? So you have transformation, you have communication, and then you have enablement. So let me talk about transformation. And these are usually the triple roles of organizations or communication departments in agile organizations. And as we know, agile, right? I mean, just think of, if you're agile, right, you move and you groove, and you can pivot, right, on a dime, right? You pivot on a dime. So think about an agile organization are companies basically that can move with the change as necessary. They can pivot on a dime, and that's really what the agile means. So if we're talking about corporate communications, this is why corporate communications is so important. Transformation is where you enhance your agility within your communication department, right? So what you have is you adapt structures and processes. You also create this new mindset, right? Jamsky was just talking about mindset. So let's bring that into the realm of writing and corporate communications. You creating a mindset and this whole new competency among your staff, your leaders, and then you implement with tools and technologies. So writing is really about how you you transform processes, people, and tools, and you bring them all into one place, right? And so as far as making that transformation, you then move into enablement. Before we talk enablement, let's talk about the actual communication, enhancing the corporate change towards the agility that we just spoke about. So very important to inform internally, externally about your transformation, right? Very, very important to do that. For instance, let's take when the George Floyd situation happened, like companies were scrambling to talk about what their companies were going to do and how their companies were addressing that, how their companies were responding to that, right? And that laid the foundation for a lot of what we see today. Well, not just laid the foundation, but it added to what we see today in the DEI space, the diversity, equity, and inclusion space. Because then all of a sudden that was on 10, right? Like everybody went from 0 to 100 real quick. And so there was, that's an example of being agile, turning on a dime, right? And communicating internally and externally about your transformation. So companies were trying to be more diverse. They were trying to implement DEI strategies and initiatives and things like that. And this is just an example for the sake of time, okay? Then inside, after you're deciding that you're having this transformation, part of your communication was to communicate your corporate culture. Very, very important. So you have to have communication that supports this new corporate culture, right? And a lot of what we're seeing in corporations today are this whole thing about new corporate culture and embracing DEI and all that encompasses that. And then you have to manage your perception of and your relationship with your stakeholders. And I'm telling you, DEI is a great space to discuss this with in terms of corporate communication, because this is really, really the 411 is what is happening after George Floyd. And so, but what is also happening now is that the corporate communications has taken on a different role, because we are now finding corporate America having to respond to internal and external stakeholders. So it's not just, you have a ERG that has a bunch of Black people or Hispanic people or LGBTQs or anything that has some kind of protected classes. Usually, you don't just, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about now a whole transformation that now has to be communicated to corporate America. I'm sorry if you can hear these planes. I live in Langley Air Force Base. You have to manage your perception and your relationships with your stakeholders. And that's what's really happening in the DEI space. So that's where the communication comes in, right? Then the third part of the triangle to finish out the triad would actually be your enablement. So when we think of communication enablement, I want you to think about all the other functions of the business units that become more agile while you're making this transformation. You're moving over here trying to communicate it, and you're advising basically, and you're coaching on implementing all these agile structures and processes and tools. You know, you're moving people, and you're doing things differently, and you're implementing, right, something that is going to make all of this happen. So you're not only doing that, but you're also managing knowledge. So knowledge-based transfer, knowledge-based systems, all of those are critical to the center of corporate communications and this portion of enablement that I'm talking about. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is digital platforms. So very, very important to provide tools and digital platforms when you're trying to enable your people. You have to do that. If we go back to the business side of all of this, the digital assets for a company now are critical. So Aaron talked about my expertise in writing in terms of white papers and executive summaries and things like that. But I want to briefly say, when you write, you don't write just to be heard. You write for action. So if your writing is not for action, you're not writing for the right reason. You write to get action. So that I don't care if it's an email, if it's a white paper, if it's an executive summary, you're writing to get action, and all of those break down into formats and different things, right? In terms of their purpose. But I want to focus for the last few minutes on the white paper part, because oftentimes we all know what an executive summary is, usually a couple of 2 to 3 pages. We're very, very familiar with grants and proposals. I write RFPs. Danielle Mathis Inc. is a proposal management company. And so I manage proposals for companies, not only in the federal space, but also in the commercial B2B space. And I just manage the whole proposal process. That in and of itself is a talent in a certain kind of way, that you have to know how to manage people, manage processes, manage tools, and keep a very tight schedule and a whole lot of compliance. You all already know this. But what I want to talk about in my last few minutes is the white paper. And I want you all to think about Bitcoin. We never knew, in October of 2008, right? Now, this is 14 years ago. There was this unknown developer who went under the pseudonym of Satoshi Nakamoto. And he publishes this revolutionary white paper, and it's Bitcoin. And it's Bitcoin, we know, is a peer-to-peer cash system. So this document was the beginning of the cryptocurrency industry. One document. And then it's now valued at, $200 billion, and it's this, and then as well as this innovative blockchain technology that's turned the whole financial world upside down. One document, a white paper. So I want you to not skip over, don't minimize the effect that a white paper can have. And most people don't know, but there's 3 types of white papers, and I'll end with this. You can do background white papers where you're detailing your technical features. You can also have like a problem-solving white paper where you're going to talk about your pain points of, a particular, a specific problem that you want to solve. And then you can have a numbered list white paper. And in that, you're making your data-based argument about how a feature and a problem can be solved, and how you're going to do it, providing some new innovative solution, right? The white paper is critical. And if we don't learn how to write white papers, we are really shortchanging ourselves. So if you want to work with Aaron and work with me on all of that, please hit me up. I am Danny Smith Mathis on all things social media. My website is dannysmithmathis.com. Thank you so much, Aaron. I appreciate the time.
Hey, Miss Danny, thank you so much for being here. Communications is the foundations for everything we do, right? And I loved how you talked about communicating for action. When we communicate for action, it's up to us to choose how we respond. So, all of that factors into how we carry out our life, how we carry out our business. So great, valuable information there that you've shared with us today. And I just appreciate you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you for just sitting in the seat and the role that you play in just really helping us to win in business. So thank you again for everything that you do, and we look forward to hearing more from you on tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes. So have you had a chance to share with everyone how they can connect with you? I'm going to start adding others to the stage.
Again, I'm at www.dannysmithmathis.com, DANNE, Danny with an E, DannySmithMathis.com. Yeah. Any inquiries, just fill out the contact form and I'll get back to you. And I can put it in the chat if you want, Aaron.
Okay, that'll be awesome.
There you go.
All right. So as we prepare to close out the Contracts and Business Deals Extravaganza Day 1, I just want to thank you all so much for taking time to tune in, to get the information, right? To hear from the amazing speakers that have, just truly brought so much value from firsthand experiences. As I, opened up the extravaganza, I mentioned that we are practitioners that live by principles. And you heard it. You heard it from them yourself firsthand, you know, how they live life, right? And how they do business. So it matters. It matters who you connect to, who you work with. I'm bringing the speakers back to the stage as we prepare to close out, but it matters who you connect with. And I am very who mentioned it? I believe it was TL talked about being selective. I might be wrong about that, but just being selective and being also intentional and prayerful about who we associate with, who we do business with. And I'm just so thankful for this ecosystem of amazing people that's doing great things. I am very clear on the gifts and the great work that each individual that you have heard from today brings to the table. And again, that's why we are able to do life and business together. So you have heard it from the crew, you've heard it from business owners, you've heard it from leaders in ministry, how they apply themselves and how they are able to serve you and to help you in life and business. And as we prepare to close out, I know that there were a number of questions that were dropped the in the comment section. So I want to flash those up for a moment. So that we can do our best to answer those questions. Again, we will be continuing day 2 on tomorrow. Day 2, we have more speakers. We have Jacob Jennings. We're going to see if Daryl Peak is available to come on. Fred Smith, Jeremy Nixon. We have the Mr. Paul Davis and Eddie Raymond that will be here with us. And then, of course, we'll have our speaker panel where you will have a chance to hear from everyone, as we prepare to close out the extravaganza. But ultimately, we want to make sure that you all get connected and you get the information that you need, you get the support that you need so that you can go to the next level. Again, we want to do life with you all. And we understand that there are some non negotiables, there are some core foundational things that you need to have in place so that you can win, so that you can be successful, so that you can have a company that can go public. What does it take to go public? Right? There's so much in between that must happen and that must be in place. And we can help you do just that. You've heard it from the experts. So again, I was up here perusing through the comments for any of the speakers. If you have any final comments that you'd like to add as we prepare to close out, I'm going to continue to peruse through the comments so that we can answer some questions. Feel free to unmute yourself and speak to the audience. Anybody?
Do you want us to answer the questions that are in?
Yes, if
in
you see any questions that you
Yes.
can answer, please.
Okay. Yeah, I can answer. One question that was posed was, is a white paper similar to a concept paper? So white paper is a concept paper. It's basically, it is a concept paper. You know, you apply it basically to either, you're going to either interest your potential funders, you're going to develop solutions, or investigate some things on a project that you have an idea for, or you're going to determine either whether a project idea is even fundable, or you can actually, it can actually serve as the foundation for a full proposal. So yeah, usually funders or people that request concept papers, they're often going to give you a template or some kind of format. And if the templates or the formats aren't provided, then you have 5 basic elements. And that's basically your intro, your purpose, your need or your rationale, and then your background, and then your description of your project as well, and then your goals and objectives. The final thing you'll talk about, you go into methodologies, project activities, you're going to have a budget, and then you're going to also, just give your contact information. So it is really, a white paper is basically a concept paper. And I don't know if I see anything else that I can answer, so I'll leave it at that.
Okay, I found one. Someone asked earlier, do you need a NAICS code to be a consultant? And what is the code? First, I will say that there is a NAICS code for being a consultant to the government. It is management consulting services, and that NAICS code is 54161. 54161. And the government does, offer contracts to individuals that serve as consultants across multiple industries. You can pretty much consult with the government just about every industry that you can think of. So is that a requirement? You want to, certainly have a registered company, and you want to get registered in SAM. And in SAM, you would also add your NAICS code. You also want to get your DUNS number. A DUNS number is still relevant. It is still important to have, so that you can build your business credit portfolio. From there, you get registered in SAM, put in your NAICS code, and things of that nature. And then you're able to market to the government. The other side of that is that you can be a consultant to the government in a subcontract capacity, which basically means you are supporting someone that is a holder of a government contract on the federal level, or you can be a consultant to the government on the state or local level as well. So I will, allow anyone else that is on the stage to chime in if you have anything to add to the question. Go ahead.
So as far as the code is concerned, Aaron is actually absolutely right. It's 54161. That's what you said, right, Aaron? But here's the thing: management consulting services is a lot of businesses that come under that. You can drill down and add a 1 to the 54161, and if you go 54161.1, you're talking more specifically about administrative management and general management consulting services. Then if you go to 541.612, you're talking about human resource consulting services. And then if you go to 541.613, you're talking about marketing consulting services. But the other code that some of you may be interested in is all other professional and technical services, which is 541.990. So anyway, just want to share that.
I would like to speak on the NIAC codes. When you're establishing business credit, you want to make sure that you identify your industry, because once you have that set and you provide that to the IRS, and also when you're opening up your bank account, you want to have that NIAC code ready. So when they ask you so to avoid a series of questions that they're going to ask you, because the series of questions they ask you when you open up your bank account is just to identify your industry. So make sure that you have your NIAC code ready. when you're establishing that, because that's how they identify your business. And two, because I deal with a lot of real estate investors, there's high risk industries that I wouldn't say that they would deny you of funding, but you would just have to prove yourself twice as hard as to why you need the funding for your business, like real estate investing, transportation, and such. So make sure that you choose a general NIAC code so that way you're not under scrutiny. So just want to add that.
Yeah.
Can I add something to that? That was a great credit goddess. Can I add something to that?
Please do.
So just kind of piggybacking off what credit goddess said, when you go to the bank and you are a high risk industry such as real estate, find out what banks in your area have a appetite for your type of business. Because what happens is banks have a certain amount of money allotted to them for certain risky industries. And so what happens is, let's say you're at one bank, they run out of that particular funding that they've already put aside for the year for, let's say, the trucking industry, which is another high risk industry. Then the bank down the street may still have some funds available for those risky industries. Then you can go there and actually get approved. Because what happens is, when those banks, when you have those high risk industries and they've exhausted those funds, they put that industry on what they call a moratorium list. And so that particular bank may not be able to give you funding, but the bank down the street may be able to. So really just kind of getting to know, the setting up your business to get funding is very important, but also having those relationships with the banks that can benefit your business to give you funding. Have a relationship with banks that are going to actually be able to benefit your business. So I just wanted to kind of add that.
Awesome.
Amazing. I thank you all so much. Anyone else?
Yeah, real quick. So, Jamsky here. When we talk about getting funding, so just so you know, with Crowd Wall Street, we have what's called Regulation CF. I want to say that was March of this year. They extended them out from $1,070,000 to $5 million, meaning that you don't have to be an accredited investor, and you can come on a platform and raise up to $5 million through Regulation CF, right? So one of the things I would always talk to Aaron about is that you can leverage that $5 million to get a large contract, right? A lot of times, I think the reason why a lot of people don't deal with the large contract is because we don't have access to the capital, right? Because there's only so much you'll probably be able to do with the lines of credit and things of that sort. But when we talk about competing with the big dogs, getting those large contracts, you can raise up to $5 million, and you're just talking about having a great marketing campaign and cultivating a list of investors that will support your brand. Right, we all got these supporters, and these people who we say ride for us. So now it's time for us to leverage those people in our circles. As opposed to saying I got a group of this many people. Okay, well, let's put them to the test. Right, have them support your campaign. So you raise. It don't even have to be $5 million. Let's say $1 million. But the dope thing about crowdfunding is that we don't have to check your credit score. Like when you're raising money, like these guys are raising funds, we don't even check your credit score. Like in a capital fundraise industry. Credit, we don't even it doesn't even come up, but you got to know how to structure it so that when you raise that money, you leverage those lines of credit to pay accounts receivable and things of that sort. So you raise the big money to get access to the big contracts, and then any emergencies or anything like that, then that's where the lines of credit from your business, you can leverage that to compensate for that and to kind of keep things afloat if anything go wary or whatnot. So understand that you can raise capital for that. And then if your businesses, right, if there's 10 people doing somewhat of the same thing, you guys can all partner together, or you guys can all merge together. Me and Erin is talking about something she's working on big or whatnot, but imagine merging those businesses together, and now you're able to get access to more, right? You would get more done with a group, with a collective, than you ever would by yourself. So why not leverage our peers and leverage the people that are somewhat in the same industry as us? And now we're able to get access to those contracts in bid, and we have the proof. Here's the collective right here. Here's what we're doing. Here's the numbers. We can handle this contract, this larger contract. So now when we telling people about these contracts, and you're telling them that we did this contract and we did this contract for 10 million or whatever, they're like, what? And now more people are intrigued. So now they're like, okay, cool. I love getting the $10,000, $50,000, maybe $100,000 contracts, but I want the recurring multi-million-dollar contracts. I want my face to be on there with these other people that don't look like me, so they can see that it's possible. That, you know, because a lot of times we just got to see that somebody that look like you did it, and that's all the hope I need, right?
Yeah.
That's all the motivation I need to know that I can do that. So now I'm going to strive for that because I've seen that it's possible. So just understand you can raise capital and leverage out for your contracts because it's for your business. It's a business expense. So you got money that can go towards marketing, but then you got money that can also go towards getting you a nice size contract and leveraging the lines of credit that you got just in case anything happened. You know, you got that in your back pocket as a safety net, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes total sense, brother. It makes total sense, Jansky. Thank you so much. I think what I got from what you said is collective capacity and how we can leverage, you know, the credit that we've established over time to do more together.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's phenomenal. Okay, I hear a mic open. Mr. Darrell, is that
Yeah,
you?
it's me.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
it.
want to know.
Well, how y'all doing? How's everybody?
Wonderful.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Doing
great.
doing great.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. You know, as you all know, as a speaker, when you're always in front, and sometimes, as Mr. Fritz said, you have to be a good follower, be a good leader. And sometimes it is so uplifting to listen and be a student in your continuing learning and listen to other speakers. And when you've been out here for a little while, you kind of forget a lot of stuff that you've done. And all the other today just it reminded me more of what I have experienced and able to share with others. And as Mr. Fritz said so well, is you want to create a team, and being a veteran in the Marine Corps, that's their most important aspect. Together, everyone accomplishes more miracles. And when y'all start talking about credit, and I don't want to mention your name of Mr. Fritz, so that's why I'm saying Mr. Fritz, your first name. It has a Jasky French? How do you pronounce your first name?
It's Jamsky.
Jamsky, okay, Jamsky
Yeah.
French.
So the whole name is my
so
whole name is Jamsky Jean Baptiste, but Jamsky French because they always ask me, "Is your last name French?" And this is Jamsky French to make it easy and short.
I got you. So everyone here, Aaron is so wonderful in facilitating, organizing people for that common goal to get past that line. And we always talk about that triple bottom line, people planning and profits beyond the profits itself. The lady that spoke on credit, everybody here has a real integral part in helping people scale or leverage their business up. French, when you talk about the private equity, I'm from New York and I've been around the Wall Street area as well. I've been in the credit game, a lot of stuff. And y'all just was hitting it home so good. Because yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can go from debt to equity. We've been deprived so long of not having credit. We think that's the only way to get up and scale and get in the game. I've used other people's talent, credit, business, whatever it takes. And as I said earlier, it's about the deal that make it real. A and B equals C. You know, if you don't know, you better ask somebody because you don't have to know. You just know where to go. That person's going to pay you for what they don't know, right? And but you have to be structured properly. You have to understand the pathway, the algorithm, the sequence. Remember, as they say in scripture, more than a conqueror. And if you know the story, which is our story, that sometimes still remains a myth story. And there's a lot we've done that we're getting back to our rightful place. And having been around a lot of sport and entertainment, I have nothing against singing and dancing, but we could do more than that. You follow me? Like the film industry behind the camera. Films wouldn't happen without that equity money, right, Mr. French? If you could raise that capital, you have no film to show. It's show business, but you have to have a business to show. And without the dough, you don't go. And it credit, if you don't have access to leverage and get in where you fit in to grow to the level of capital markets and write and understand the research. I'm a very thorough intel is my thing because facts and figures don't lie, only people do. And when you have that white paper, that communications, you can do a lot because you know more than the average person. And the government is one of the biggest ones that pay for, they write the reports and then the consultants come in and sell it back to them. Isn't that amazing? And someone like Ms. Mathis that understands that communication aspect, that's wonderful. So I just wanted to compliment this whole forum again. And it really excites me because that equity side, you can go from credit repair to credit millionaire. You can go from the streets to the suite. You can go from debt to equity. it's real. This is real out here, and this is probably the best time we had because, as Gil Scott Harris said, the revolution won't be televised. It's online. It's on your tablet. It's on your mobile phone. It's on the platform. You have no excuse. I mean, and this is so beautiful, and I look forward to working with all of you within my population and tribe, so we can all help empower and leave legacy inside our DNA sequencing of our families as well as humanity. And before we get up out of here. So thank you so much for the time. I really applaud all of you and thank you for having me. And I enjoyed this so much, so much. Thank you.
Aaron, if it's
Yeah.
okay with you, can I
Thanks, Jeremy.
if it's okay with you, can I noticed in the comments the contact information for the Business Academy was incorrect. Is it okay if I give out the correct website email address?
Yes, sure. We're going to make sure that we can reshare our contact information. Let's go to Miss Danny as she had a comment, and then we'll close out with sharing our websites and ways that people can connect with us.
No, I just wanted to echo what Daryl says. This has been, as a seasoned professional, I've been working for 46 years now. And as a seasoned professional, I am so thankful to be part of this multi-generational legacy because this is the first time I've been involved over time now, and I'm talking about since the pandemic, with many of my younger brothers and sisters. Coming as a baby boomer, it just wasn't heard of. You just never thought of learning. You never were positioned to learn from the younger generation. You were always positioned as the elder. And you have to be in order to learn, you have to just be quiet and be a student. And the longer I live, the more important that is to me. So Aaron, I want to thank you for your leadership and thank you for seeing enough value in me as an elder to bring me in as part of this tribe. Thank you.
Listen, there is such an exchange that happens when we seek counsel from those that have the experience, those that have been there and done that, right? So, much respect to all of you for just being open to sharing your experiences. We need seasoned people to have so that we can grow, so that we can get there faster and better. So salute to you all for for showing up and being vessels and sharing your experiences, because we need that advice, that counsel, um, so that we can be successful and again be able to impart and leave a legacy within our children's children. So yes, my heart is so full. Today has been absolutely amazing. From just everything that everybody has shared today about their experience and what we're doing in our own lives and in our own businesses to make a change. No one person can um, be the anchor that helps to build wealth, um, that helps to leave a legacy, that helps to change the narrative for our communities. So as a collective, we can immediately increase our capacity so that we can be able to perform and acquire more assets, acquire more contracts, acquire more resources, more money, right? So I'm just grateful for everyone that has showed up, speakers, and to all of those that tuned in on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook. We're broadcasting in multiple areas. If you're catching this on a replay, please comment. Please leave your questions. We will be going back through the recording so that we can respond to your questions and also connect with you all. I'm going to prepare to close out and ask that anyone here on the platform share your contact information or drop your website links in the comments so that people can access it. And from there, we will pick up again on tomorrow, Thursday, April 28th at 12 o'clock noon Central Standard Time, to bring more speakers to the stage that can talk about connections, capacity, capabilities, contracts, and really just help you all to be empowered. At the end of the day, it's about empowerment, and to believe that whatever is germinating within, whatever that vision is, whatever that dream is that you've had, you can achieve it. You can accomplish it. So again, thank you all so much for the speakers. For those that want to share, please feel free to go ahead and share your information. Jamsky, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying bye. But yeah, crowdwallstreet.com. If you want to reach out to me personally, CEO J French is my handle on Instagram. Jamsky French on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. Yeah, feel free to reach out. And thanks for having me again. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. Very valuable. Definitely took my notes, and I would love to collaborate with you guys and see how we can, scale this thing.
Indeed. Angela?
Hey, thank you, Aaron. I want to thank you so much for having me be a part of the panel. This was awesome. I am always a student. I learned a lot. If anyone needs, what we do at Mission to Fix It Business Academy is we take businesses from A to Z. We educate you on personal credit, business credit, because education is key. We don't just go set it up and help repair personal credit. We need to educate you on that in finances. So that's what we do. We can help set up business credit for you, but we also walk you through setting it up for yourself and educate you about business credit. And the main thing is we get you ready for the bank. So we educate you on the process. If you don't have the resources you need, if you don't know a CPA or an accountant that can help you, or a business attorney, we also have referrals that we can also send you to places that can actually help your business. So if you need to contact us at any time, you can email us at info at missiontofixitacademy.com. You can also email me if you have any concerns about credit repair. I'm such an advocate for credit education and financial education that I do free credit repair consultations. And so if you ever need a credit repair consultation, basically I give you an action plan that you can execute to help repair your credit, or if you needed assistance with it, I can help you. You can actually go to the website, www.missiontofixit.com, and schedule a free credit repair consultation. It's all about the education to me. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Sure thing. Thanks, Angela. I have dropped Ms. Danny's links in the comments, as well as Credit Goddess. Anyone else wanted to share before we prepare to close out?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
My preferred method of contact is the 888 number. I don't know if you put in the chat, but you guys can text your name and email address to the 888-557-5778 number, and a link will pop up where you can book your strategy call, whether it's for personal credit, business credit. Definitely tap in. I'm a strategist, so I help you put a game plan together to how we can get access to funding, business lines of credit with major banks, local community banks, and credit unions, up to, I got the most for $380,000 for a real estate investor. So definitely tap in. It's all about your personal credit. And then that way you can leverage that and transition into business credit. So that way your business can be fundable. All right. So definitely can help you with that. So book your strategy session and find out how.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Credit Goddess. All right. Well, you have, just really, I hope you all really enjoyed the Contracts and Business Deals Extravaganza. This was day one. We will be back again on tomorrow to drop more gems, to share more information, more valuable information that you can actually take and apply. I'm sure that today has been very, very thought provoking and you've had many aha moments. Please go back and catch this on the replay on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. We're going to keep this up. The information is there. And be sure to connect with anyone that has resonated with you. And of course, you all, Global Works is here to serve. So I just want to close out with sharing with you the agenda for tomorrow, as we have an amazing lineup of individuals that will be here. We are also going to go through our giveaway and also honor our boot camp alumni. For those that have taken our free online boot camp at contractsandbusinessdeals.com, we want to acknowledge you. We want to thank you for investing in getting the information and give you an opportunity to continue on with your growth and learning how you can access, win, and maintain government contracts. So once again, we thank you all so much. We are going to prepare to end this broadcast, and we will see you all again on tomorrow at 12 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time at the same place. You all take care.